Hey folks, time to go over some business. I have a few line items. First up is Mike. You should know that I've known Mike for a long time. If you go back about 3 years on the vids, you'll actually see his staff profile. Mike and I really see eye to eye on a lot of things, and I found him to be as straight up an individual as you're likely to meet in this world. And next shot is Valhalla. Next Valhalla is 40K. It's August 11th through 14th. That starts on a Thursday. And we have tickets available on our website. If you have any questions, just contact me. You can also do halvesies. You can pay for half up front and then half when you get there. August 11th is only about 6 weeks away. Everyone by now should know how awesome Valhalla is and be wanting to come. I have a lot of people saying they want to be there. It's really important that you somehow find a way out to the Valhalla in August. We have a goal of 8 to 12 people this time, and we currently have 4 tickets sold for that. And there will also be BTP staff and local personalities there as well. So we're gonna pack it. It's gonna be beautiful. It really is the experience of a lifetime. But I'm sure I don't need to tell you how awesome it is. Look at the train. Get on Google or whatever search engine. Look up prices for train tickets. They are very reasonable. I think it's like $200 or $300 to get a 2-bunk room on a train from California. Probably likewise from some other places like Arizona, Colorado, wherever it is. So if you're only a state or two away, the transportation can be really inexpensive. Also, this is geared towards families. We are allowing accompanied minors 16 and older to be there as long as they follow the general rules of being kind and respectful and easy to get along with. This is a great vacation for a couple, because this is at Sundance, which is a world-class resort. So get your tickets. It is important. If you believe in something, you have to make it happen. And later this year we'll have the schedule out for 2012. Alright, about Blue Table Painting, we're putting up a lot more videos. We're improving our content, as you can see. So it is time for you, yes you, to give us a plug. And I'm not asking for someone to go nuts and start spamming every forum in existence. But if you really honestly do like something of ours, don't keep it to yourself. Just embed one of our videos or put a link to one of our galleries or YouTube things or blog entry, wherever it is that you go and post. So that'd be much appreciated. We have some goals to really consolidate and also expand in the coming 18 months. Time to get a War Machine army. War Machine is a great game to get into. You saw the game between me and Mike. You saw how many models we used. How many models did I have? I had 2 units of 6 and 2 other units that were 6 and 10. That was all my infantry, so that's about 30 figures. And and then the Warjacks and Warcasters, so 30 or 40 figures can make a 50-point army. The most consolidated army that I found is Orboros. You can get 4 of the various heavy War Beast wolves, Epic Kaya, and 3 War Wolves. So basically 7 figures, as little as 7 figures can make an army of 50 points. And 50 points is about right. It's about a 2-hour game. There's really nothing missing from it. It's exciting. War Machine is awesome. I also recommend going to Battle College. I don't know the exact website. I'll put up a link here to it. That is a strategy and tactics site for War Machine and Hordes. It's fantastic. When you ask me to do a turbo army, I use my own intelligence input, and I also go to Battle College and I figure out what is going to work and what's hot. Do want to plug a painting service. It is Worthy Painting in the UK. I've been in contact with Nick out there for about a month. We were actually talking of starting a BTP UK something I may do down the line. And originally I had just been mentoring Nick, and then we started talking about that, but now we're back to him kind of doing his own thing, and I really think that's the way to go for him. And I have to say, so that is my plug. This is someone who I'm seriously considering trusting with the very first branch of Blue Table painting. So there's that. That is a limited endorsement. I know him pretty well, and I've got a really good feeling about it. So I'll put up a link to his website or eBay auctions or whatever it is he has going. He's just starting out. It really reminds me of me 7 years ago. He's a family man. He is with 2 young kids, and that's exactly where I was in 2004 when I was starting in my house. So it's really wonderful, and I have a sincere desire to see other people that are ready for it receive the same wonderful things that I've received in life. That said, I am seriously toning down the amount of time I'm spending mentoring and getting other people started, just because of the sheer volume of inquiries. Dear Sean, I've always wanted to start a painting business. Can you tell me how to do it? I can't really respond to very many of those anymore. So there's that. All right, time to buy a shirt. Yes, your Hey Hey Blue Table Fans shirt. Time to give back. So that's what that looks like. We are going to probably be doing a Lady Averages one in the next month. I'm not exactly sure when. We have our hands full with the move. It says bluetablepainting.com on the back. And you just can't beat that. My goal is to have about 10 shirts out over the next 10 months or so. Yeah, about a shirt a month. That's not unrealistic. The move. So let's talk. It is imminent. The move date is Thursday, June 30th. That is 8 days from now. Go ahead and start and stop. And don't worry about sending things to the wrong address. We got the postal workers on board with it. We have the address forwarded. We will have a tiny bit of overlap with this address where we'll still technically be renting it. And it'll be ever so easy for packages to get to the right place. So don't overly stress about it. Don't wait to do a commission because of it. The new address, I'll put it below. It is 50. It's the same as the old address, except the street number is 55 East, 100 North, and it's fantastic. In fact, I want to talk to you a little bit about the new building. The new building is almost 4 times the amount of square footage that we have here. Mike just smiled, and it's fantastic. We took a building that was rotting. You know those abandoned buildings? It had actually been abandoned for almost a year. Nobody wanted to rent it. Nobody wanted to buy it. Weeds are growing up. Has all sorts of junk just kind of piled around in the parking lot. Like, over your head, higher than your head, was the stack of junk. And it was an absolute disgusting, wretched mess. And Sarah and I came in. I don't know how we did it. It was the hand of Providence that strengthened us to do what is basically a miracle. We have taken this building and just, well, you're going to see. It's really fantastic. It is no less beautiful than the building that we're in right now. It's absolutely fantastic. The top floor has a main room. It looks like a pillared dance hall. It is with 10-foot ceilings, and it's just gorgeous. It's just absolutely gorgeous. We even, when I say it's at least as good as this, in fact, it is going to look a little like this because we use the same color of paints for the new one. So you're going to see a lot of similarities. We're going to keep the same kind of plants. We're going to get more plants. The main room is 40 feet by 70 feet, which is enormous. This world room that we're in here is like 20 by 30. So almost, 4 of these. In fact, I think 4 of these. Yeah, 4 of these would fit in there quite handily, almost 5. of them. And that's only one of the main rooms. And there's a second main room of similar dimensions. And then there's just a ton of peripheral rooms. I'd say at least 10 peripheral rooms. It's just, we're so lucky. It's still going to require a lot of hard work. We got to keep things stoked up white hot around here in order to make it happen. But it's really quite a miracle. And if it pans out in the next year or so, it will secure the future of this company. It's really spectacular. What a godsend, and and in a way, it's been a horrible experience too. It has been so just stress, a crushing weight that you can just feel, worrying about everything. And it is, after we added it up, it was really quite an endeavor. All right, anyway, so there's that. I do want to talk about a couple other things. The next item of business is a request. Imagine being in a crowded game shop, maybe hundreds of people in this game shop, and then all of a sudden somebody stands up in the middle of this shop on a table and shouts, "This guy's stuff really sucks. Don't buy anything here." What would your reaction or feeling be to that? What would your reaction or feeling be to that if you were the owner of the shop? So, that said, when you're on the YouTube channel and you're making comments, you are making them publicly. And I would request politely that you not say things that are patently derogatory. If you have issue, if you see me doing something you think is wrong, I'm all ears. Just contact me privately about it. But please don't block me. And that gets on to the next item of business. So when you, I guess, choose BTP as your service, or you buy something from us, it's you're into something. You should know what. How to explain this? BTP, for me, allows me to pay medical bills for my wife and 4 kids. It gets them into the dentist. It makes sure that my family is clothed and fed. It allows us to make our way in the world, not only without burdening anyone else, but unburdening other people around us, which I think is really, really wonderful. I don't talk about the charity work we do, but I can tell you, you are into a lot of good things when you put your money with us, and I consider it an honor. Voting with your wallet is a pretty big deal, because you took part of your life, you labored, you produced something, you got money, and then you traded it for what we had. And that is, it's trading lives, it's intermingling lives, it's human. It's a really a beautiful human phenomenon. Well, that's the best I could express it. All right, last item. I have a lot of people say, well, how do you get started? How do you keep your energy up? First off, I have realized, even at this late portion of my life, actually I'm only really at halftime. I'm 42, by the way, in case anyone wants to know. And realized that really I am a little more outgoing than most people. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah.
All right. So let's just be conservative with that. And to me, it comes naturally, and I think it's just getting a good night's sleep and eating relatively well and liking what I do. Forgiveness, that is a big one. Every single thing that comes into your heart that maybe is bitter or hard for you, you have to let those things go. You got to keep that slate clean and not have bitterness towards anyone or anything. And it's a toughie, but it's a really good habit to have, and I think it does keep you happy. So that said, the energy, yeah, and I married well. That is really a big deal in life, to have a good spouse. But how did I get started? It's a story that's been told before, but I don't think I've said it recently on YouTube, so I'll give you the encapsulated version. I was a public school teacher in the San Francisco Bay Area of California. Only semi-public. I did work for a private charter school that had taken over a public school. So, I don't know, there's that. So I've had the spectrum. Like, I've been in the bluest area of one of the bluest states, and now I am living in the reddest county in the reddest state in the United States. So I've heard. It's pretty red out here. And so I've kind of seen both things and experienced both. I've had really a gamut of different situations, living in giant cities and living in the smallest thing possible, which was we lived for a time in the outback of Alaska as a family. Basically, I think it is like, what was it? Yeah, it was 8. Yeah, it was 8 people out there, 112 miles from the nearest civilization. And that civilization was basically a shack that sold mosquito repellent. And then you'd have to drive from there to Fairbanks. And so we were out there. We were close to the Arctic Circle. So I've had both. I've lived in super crowded and out in the wilderness. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I was a teacher, and then one day a friend of mine at the game shop was like, hey, why don't you paint my figures for money? And it never occurred to me, and since it was summer and I wanted to earn some extra money, I said okay, and I gave him a price. And so I spent a week and a half maybe, painting his dwarfs, and out in the parking lot of the game shop, because you couldn't do business inside, naturally, he peeled off $100 bills to pay me. And I was like, oh yeah. So I started doing the math. And I didn't know it at the time, but I was making a business plan. I made an Excel spreadsheet, and I made calculations of how this might work. And I realized I could do better for me and my family working part-time painting figures than I could full-time at my regular job. And I had a killer commute. I always came home through rush hour traffic, an hour in my car. It permanently damaged my spine, this commute did. And yeah, chronic pain to this day from that. And it was brutal. One day I'd come home, I'd just be a bear, and I came home, and my wife had my 2-year-old son, and he recoiled from me as if from a stranger. And I was like, all right, that tears it, because I can't be away from my family so much. It was brutal. And so, yeah, I made my escape plan, and I did it. Escape from New York, basically. So I started painting figures. I went to Grand Tournament in Seattle, 2004, and that was an army I had painted for a friend, took second place for Best Painted. That made me feel awesome, gave me great confidence. So basically I went from, in the subsequent years, from 2004 to 2011, I went from painting in my garage, one-man band, to what Blue Table Painting is now, which is I employ, I think it is 16 people now. And again, when you choose us, you are into all sorts of good things. I mean, I could almost run this as a non-profit for all of the things that we are doing for the community, for individual families, for my family. Half of the people I employ approximately are from Spanish Fork, so we are doing really great for this city. And I love being in Utah. I love Spanish Fork. People know that I'm active in politics. I've kept that off of the YouTube thing. But the core of, not politics, but the core of my thinking is that one man should not have to be in servitude to another man. And there's more ways to do that than with a gun and chains. There are ways to do it mentally, and there's ways to do it legally, and there's ways to do it through societal pressures. And I am against those things. I don't like consolidation of power. I believe one size does not fit all. I really, like, when I see someone doing something different than me, I say, God bless America, because it's a big country, and I think everybody should have the privilege to pursue their own life unbothered by other people. And I really don't like it when one group tries to impose their will on another group of people. That really irritates me. I don't do it. So what you may see as being politically active is actually in that vein. I want to get rid of fetters. I want to get rid of chains, and because I see the benefit. Blue table painting is a microcosm of people being left alone to do something they love, to produce a durable, joy-giving product, physical thing / art form that really does improve people's life. In fact, this very YouTube channel is an expression of individuality. It's an expression of what we are, our own lives being put out there for display to enrich the lives of other people. And it's really fantastic. I love life, and I do really, I believe in what we're doing. It's really fantastic. So anyway, so that's the business with an added ramble at the end. I think we're above 10 minutes. So thanks for tuning in to this segment on business. And yeah, keep watching. Oh, and buy a shirt. And come to Valhalla if you can. I understand everybody can't make it. But I know a lot of people are making plans for 2012, and that's basically the crossroads for Valhalla right now. If we book up the 2011 one, see, I'm still going. I just don't stop. Mike's like, oh, my arm's getting tired. So if the 2011 one is booked, then we'll have one more in 2011. If it's not, then we're gonna take a breather, and then we're gonna hit it again in spring 2012. And hold on, there's one other important thing I was going to say. Oh yes, the next one is for 40K. However, I am opening them up. We will have War Machine armies at this one in August as well. So if you love 40K and that's all you want to do, don't let that bother you. It's just going to be a side thing. It's just going to be that. But Mike and me and probably 2 other people can bring War Machine armies. We'll have studio armies for you to try out. You don't even have to bring one. But we are going to do War Machine hordes at this. We will have armies available for that. Yeah, I'm stoked. And what I really want to do is I want to do one that's kind of everything. That's kind of like also just bring your fantasy army, your 40K army, a War Machine army, Flames of War, whatever you got. We will have studio armies there. We'll have staff and friends there playing whatever that game is. We'll probably make a list of 4 or 5 games and just do a general thing. Also, there's more in the works with this building because we have so much space. We're thinking of doing a blue table painting invitational. It'll probably be more open to begin with, but more of a regular convention, kind of like a mini convention just around our studio. It's going to be awesome. And the new place has a parking lot too. Our own parking lot. It's like 24 parking spaces that is just for us to use. It's fantastic. It's really neat. I can't wait to show you all around. You're going to be really excited. All right, that's it. Thanks.